What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna take a look at the 2022 Jeep Compass Trailhawk. Huge shout out and thank you to Feeney Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram for providing this new Jeep for today's video. Definitely check out their website, links down below. They have a huge selection of the 2022 lineup, so definitely check them out. And the model that we're looking at today is finished off in laser blue, has the customer preferred package to GE, and has an MSRP at $38,000. Underneath the hood, the Trailhawk utilizes a 2.4 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine. This cranks out 177 horsepower and 172 pound-feet of torque. It's paired only to the 9-speed automatic transmission and sends the power to all 4 wheels through the 4-wheel drive system. And with the curb weight at around 3,600 pounds and running on a 13.5 gallon fuel tank, you're looking at 22 miles per gallon in the city and 30 out on the highway. The overall length is 173.4 inches with a wheelbase at 103.8. Height is 64.8 and width is 73.8 inches, and max towing capacity is 2,000 pounds. The Trailhawk, of course, is more of an off-road focused version of the Jeep Compass. We get approach angle at 30 degrees, breakover at 24 degrees, minimum ground clearance at 8.6 inches, and then departure angle at 34 degrees. And then now as we move our way to the exterior styling with the 2022 Jeep Compass Trailhawk, this blue color looks fantastic, and you'll even see red tow hooks down below. We get a lot of mesh in the lower portion of the front bumper to allow maximum cooling to the radiators, and you can see all of the metallic gray trim as well as the black accents throughout. There's more mesh in the center part of the bumper with 2 parking sensors, and then we get the traditional 7 bars in the front grille here, which is classic for Jeeps. Jeep is written up front in that metallic gray, and we get a set of LED headlights with chrome accents. The headlights are sunken into the bodywork to give it a really clean look, and then we get your nice fog lights down below in the farthest corners. This front bumper looks really good and has a muscular appearance for this off-road focused Compass. And then as we move our way to the hood, you can see sharp lines all around it, and then we even get a black vinyl graphic with Trailhawk written right in the center. And then moving to the side profile, we get a set of 17-inch wheels in all 4 corners, finished off in a 2-tone machine silver metallic gray, and they have a nice split 5-spoke design. You can see black trim around the front fender, just like we saw in the lower portion of the front bumper, and then a really sharp line around the whole wheel arch. You can see the trail rated badge finished off in red on this front fender, and then we get Compass with more red accents on the front doors. There's more trim in the lower portion of the doors to give it that off-road design and more protection, that way you're not going to chip up the paint when hitting the trails. There's some really good body work around the rear fender arch to give it a wider appearance, and then a sharp line running through the entire center portion. This has a set of body color door handles, and then that same metallic gray we saw up front on the mirror caps. This also features an integrated LED turn signal, and then more of this metallic gray trim running through the entire windows. I really like that aspect. Then we get blacked out B and C pillars to seamlessly blend the glass, and I really like how the entire roof is painted gloss black with the panoramic roof as well as the roof rails. And then the entire side profile fits together very well to make it look super proportional, and I like how you can see how we have low overhangs all around, giving it that off-road look. And then moving to the rear end, you can see how that gloss black roof line fades its way all the way to the rear mounted spoiler. We even get the third brake light mounted up here. You can see that same metallic gray trim from the side that goes around the rear window. I think that gives it a nice sporty look. Then we get your Jeep badge right in the center, finished in the same color, a standard backup camera, then a really sharp line underneath that. We get a really cool set of LED taillights with smoked out housings, as well as some red and a little bit of chrome trim. We get the Trailhawk badge over on the right, all of your parking sensors in the rear bumper, more of this plastic design for the lower portion of the bumper, along with your trailer hitch right in the center, then your 4x4 badges on the left, and your lift handle right in the center. So there's a good look at the exterior with the 2022 Compass Trailhawk. Really sporty looking crossover SUV, especially in the blue with all the black accents. We have Jeep's key fob, and it does have remote start. You can lock the vehicle, and then double tap on the button for the start stop. And there we go, the 4-cylinder roars to life, as you can hear. And then all I gotta do is press it once more, it'll shut off, and then keeping the key fob in my pocket, I can just grab the door handle and it'll automatically unlock, and we can check out this new interior. This Compass features a black interior with a little bit of red accents all throughout. If we go ahead and take a look at the door panel now, finished off all in black, we get some black leather along this armrest with a little bit of padding, along with some nice red stitching. Your grab handle is above that with all of your window controls, automatic front windows, mirror controls are in front of that, and a cool aluminum colored release handle with more black trim. There's storage down below, and then part of the Alpine audio system. Moving inside, you can see all the power controls on the left side of the seat, and then a combination of the smooth black leather and black fabric. We get contrast stitching, red and gray, really cool design on the bottoms, and then nice bolsters as we move our way up these backrests. We even get Trailhawk stitched into the back, and then black stitching for the headrests. And then moving around to the steering wheel, finished off in smooth black leather with red stitching. And then now inside, keeping my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. Taking a look at the gauge cluster now, we have your tach over on the left and the speedometer over on the right. We even get an LCD display right in the center that you can control using the buttons on the left side of the steering wheel. If we go ahead and take a look, right in the center now we have your speedometer, and if I go ahead and scroll down, you can see vehicle information that you can scroll through many different pages within the screen. Going down to number 3, there's driver's assistance. We also have fuel economy that'll come up. You can continue down. We have quite a few different screens in here like you do in all Jeeps. Continuing down all the way down with messages, then into screen number 9, 10, and then back to the top. So I like how you do get quite a few different ways to view what's going on in the vehicle. We have cruise control settings over on the right, a nice Jeep logo in the center, and then some Bluetooth controls over on the left. And on the back side of the steering wheel, there's extra buttons for radio and volume control. To the right of the steering wheel, we have your windshield wiper stock, then turn signals over on the left with your high beams. And then on the left side of the steering wheel, we have all of your controls for the headlights as well as the interior dimming, some brushed aluminum accents, and then a really nice vinyl design with red stitching. It's very sporty looking. We have one of the air vents, then a smooth black leather design for the dashboard with some stitching. I really like the overall look, especially with this trim piece and the stitching, and then this aluminum color. A very nice looking interior. We have this massive screen now with all the infotainment, and I really like how with the climate control settings, it's super easy to control all of your different zones. You can see all the zones, and then temperature is on this left side that you can just scroll this up and down with your temperature icon on the top left. We have heated seats along with heated steering wheel, and you can adjust those. And then along the bottom now, we have all these shortcuts for home. You can change how you'd like it. We have audio, phone, and then more things. Then all the audio settings right here in media. Back to your climate controls, your phone integration, and then we have this icon right here for vehicle, and quite a few things will come up in here to change how you'd like your vehicle. You have display, all sorts of different things. And then tapping this apps icon, we can see what pops up. If there were more, you have things that can come up. Up top, we have Wi-Fi hotspot, and then a few other shortcuts. If I go ahead and take this and put it into reverse, you get a massive backup camera that comes up, super HD graphics as well, with all of your guidelines right in the center. If I tap this plus icon, you can see your trailer hitch, which is going to be great for lining that up. And then going back into park. Underneath the screen, we have your shortcuts for the auto start stop feature, traction control, and lane keeping. Then we have parking sensors and then your hazards. You can see 2 of your air vents down below, all integrated to look like one massive air vent. I think that's a really nice looking design. We have all of your climate controls, physical buttons down here with fan speed and off in the center, the different zones, your temperatures. We have the tuning for the radio on the right side with volume over on the left, as well as a mute icon. Then we get a little bit of storage and then a USB plug over on the right side. Moving our way to the shifter, we have a black shift boot with more of the red stitching. And then over on this right side, we have different drive modes. You can see auto, snow, mud, and then rock. And this is a really nice toggle switch. And it comes up on the screen with a really cool graphic depicting which mode you're in. So I think that's a really nice way to tell exactly what you're doing. 4-wheel low, if you go into the top setting. Then we can scroll this all the way back down into the auto mode. We have your 4-wheel lock, downhill assist, as well as the 4-wheel drive low mode over on this left side. So some really good off-road capabilities, electronic parking brake. Then you can see 2 cup holders in the center with a spot you could put a key fob or a cell phone. And then more of the black leather with the red stitching. We have a good amount of storage in here. You can fit a few items. Then going ahead and closing that and taking a look at the traditional glove box. A really large bucket in here, definitely plenty of room. And then one last look at this interior. I think Jeep did a great job for 2022, really bringing the Compass up to speed with a modern design. I think the use of materials is fantastic, especially at this price point. And it's very minimal, not too many buttons, very simple to use. Up top on the ceiling, you can see the entire sunshade for the full panoramic roof. All the controls are up front. If I go ahead and press this one right here, the sunshade is going to automatically fold all the way back. And then moving our way to the rear seat space, I can go ahead and open up the door. The rear door panel is finished off just like we saw up front with the stitching and black design. Moving our way inside, you can see the two-tone stitching and the black fabric and black leather. This is a 3-seater back here. We get some nice amenities like some storage on the back side of these front seats, air vents in the center with the controller, USB ports, and then 3-prong outlet, and then a 12-volt down below. Moving our way to the center, you can pull this strap, give yourself a really good armrest with 2 more cup holders, then we can fold that up out of the way. You can also grab the handle on the back part of the seat, pull this down, and fold the seats out of the way, which will open this up for a lot more storage. All right, so sitting now in the back of the Jeep Compass, I've never actually been in one of these SUVs. So it's a smaller crossover, it's not anything crazy big, no third row obviously. But sitting back here at 5'11" with the driver's seat set at my height, I have a few inches of knee room and my feet actually have plenty of space. Headroom is pretty good as well. I'm almost touching the ceiling, but not quite. But having the panoramic roof, which is an option for this vehicle, is such an awesome option because there's so much glass now, and it really makes it feel pretty nice. The backrest is reclined at a decent angle, not crazy back here. There's no recline or anything extra, but nonetheless, pretty roomy vehicle for full-grown adults. Good armrest in the left side, and then the center one as well works really well. And then moving to the cargo area, I can grab the handle. You have an electronic button in here, and we can manually lift the gate up. You have quite a lot of space in here, as you can see, with the second row folded up. Very squared off, so I think some larger items could fit here pretty well. And then right in the center, I can grab this to lift it up to expose the spare tire. So it's nice that this vehicle has that access. And then even from here, you can grab the backs of these seats and fold these down to get them out of the way. And with the seats folded down, they don't quite fold all the way flat, but you still get quite a lot of storage space in the back of this SUV. Then all you have to do is grab the handle and we can manually close it. All right guys, so we are setting off now in the 2022 Jeep Compass Trailhawk. Let's get it to some speed, feel out the 4-cylinder. All right, and that was right up to speed. You don't really feel the gear changes. I think it's really smart they use the 9-speed. That way you can really get the power out of a smaller engine like this. Going on some sharp turns, it feels pretty confident. We're going over 40 miles an hour taking those turns. And honestly, there's not really crazy body roll. Obviously, there's a little bit, being a little bit taller than the standard Compass, but it seems pretty solid. This vehicle is designed to, hit some trails, not crazy off-roading like a Jeep Wrangler's gonna do, but I like how, especially with all the drive modes, a little bit more ground clearance and good approach and departure angles, this Compass is set up to hit some dirt. So then another acceleration, we have a smooth road coming up. It feels like a pretty solid vehicle too. Hitting this road we were just on, it's kind of bumpy, but you didn't really hear too much noise and it felt pretty solid. As far as getting comfortable in this, I've never been in a Compass before. It's really comfortable, honestly. You have a really good view out, nice large windshield, all the mirrors do a good job. And then over your left and right shoulder, as far as visibility, I'd say the only downfall is the far back corner's a little large. That window back there is only about this big, so a little bit of a hindrance there. But overall, quite honestly, with all the mirrors, I don't really see too bad of an issue there. Getting the seat comfortable and everything, you have really nice padding in it. And I like how with the power controls, you can really get it into the perfect spot. Steering wheel, tilting and telescoping, and then the armrests are in a great place where this could be just a great daily driver. Good on gas, pretty affordable vehicle, and you still have plenty of cargo space in the back and in the rear seats for people or, of course, stuff. So it seems like a pretty good package. Brakes seem to do a good job coming down to speed, and then we'll get back up to speed once again, feel out the engine and the transmission. So smaller engine, 9-speed. I think it's smart they have the 9-speed. Giving a little bit of gas. Not crazy engine sound or anything like that. Nothing too beefy, but you can of course hear the engine. And then I really love this interior. For 2022, Jeep did this really nice design, massive screen, bigger than my hand, and I love just all the materials. It looks really nice. I think Jeep lately, especially with like the Grand Cherokee, the Grand Wagoneer, they have really taken a luxury approach to some of their vehicles to make them feel very high-end. When I drove the new Grand Cherokee, it felt like something of an Audi or a BMW. When you're in this, while it doesn't feel quite that level, and of course for the price point it shouldn't. It feels nice and solid, and the use of materials is really good. You know, back in the day, maybe 10 years ago, a Jeep like this might have been a little chintzy feeling, a little cheap, but this actually feels pretty solid with good materials. Everything you touch and feel has some weight to it and something solid. There's no cheap plastics in here. It's actually pretty solid. So then switching over to the point of view, you can get a really good view of what it's like driving in the new Compass here. Definitely a good look at everything. You know, good use of materials, and then the visibility, you can kind of see what I was talking about with that far window back there. And then as far as the off-road settings, of course we can't really test them out today, and you know, being a brand new vehicle, but it's cool how a vehicle like this has all that drivetrain control, you know, the locking differentials. You don't find that on small crossovers such as a Compass. You know, other things in this competition, you know, might be maybe the new Ford Bronco Sport, but before, you know, this and that, not too many vehicles like this would have that kind of setting. So then wrapping it up now in the Jeep Compass, I think if you're looking for a nice, economical, smaller size crossover, but you plan on hitting some trails and maybe even doing some mild off-roading, this is the one to get, because you really do get the capabilities, and then you get a pretty solid car overall for just the normal driving. I don't really see any downfalls. Only thing I can find, which is kind of a minor thing, when you do the power controls, my hand gets a little tight in between the door and the seat itself. So if you're trying to, you know, put your hand on the actual little knob down there, it can be a little tight down there. But other than that, pretty solid vehicle overall, well priced, and I think it looks super sporty. So I think that's then it for the 2022 Jeep Compass Trailhawk. Huge shout out and thank you once again to Feeney, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram for providing this vehicle for today's video. Definitely check out their website down in the description below. They're getting in a huge selection of the 2022 lineup, so check them out. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for plenty more content to come, and I'll see you all in the next video.